Break and mend, I built the breath. They hunt now, drawn to life. Not real, still keen, and frit and fraught with thought and zest and guess, no blunt woes. Dodge, duck, flash, shoot, crawl, run, crush the vile band. Cry not, try not, do not hold out hope. Your life, your aim, will save those with soul. This is a message we see in a secret room in the game Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It seems no one truly knows what this means, mostly just speculation, which is why I'm going to take a shot at it in this video. The person who left this message isn't entirely clear, but we do know it is found in a room that looks exactly like the room we see as Michael's home and sister location. We also see a new version of the Scooper in the Security Breach Ruin DLC, which also first appeared in sister location. Understand all that? Good. Now throw it all away because we're talking about a code on the wall, not something that could have its own video. First of all, let's discuss who this message is for. The line dodge, duck, flash, shoot, crawl, run, crush the vile band seems to be referring to Gregory. Gregory has to dodge the arcades being thrown at him in the Music Man boss fight. He also has to flash the animatronics with his Phaz Cam, as well as shoot the animatronics with his Phaser Blaster. He crawls through the vents and runs from the animatronics. He also has to duck to evade the animatronics so that they do not see him. And finally, he crushes Glamrock Chico with the trash compactor and crushes Roxanne with the go-kart. I suppose if you squint a little, you could say that he crushes Monty with the big bucket, but that's less of Monty being crushed and more of Monty just falling from a high place. It seems pretty clear to me that this message was meant for Gregory, but then who is leaving this message? Why are they leaving this message? I think I have the answer for both of these questions, as well as how they are leaving the message. But in order to explain this, we must begin at the end. In case you don't know, Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizza Plex was built on top of the FNAF 6 location, also known as the location where Henry trapped William, Charlie, Molten Freddy, Michael, and Elizabeth. However, it seems that this plan failed entirely as everyone who burned in the fire came back in Security Breach. William returned as Burn Trap. I have reason to believe that this is not Afton's body, but instead just another Springlock victim with the glitch trap virus or something along those lines. To avoid being absolutely destroyed and ripped apart in the comments, I have decided to make a separate video on that. Molten Freddy, as well as most of the other animatronics burned in the fire, returned as the Blob. Elizabeth and Charlie are a bit more tricky, but I believe I have an explanation for that as well. Both Elizabeth and Charlie are missing from the Blob, represented by the fact that they are the only ones without glowing eyes. There are also black and white wires spread across the Pizza Plex, which bear a strange resemblance to the puppet. In the Tales of the Pizza Plex books, we see an AI known as the Mimic. This AI controls the entire Pizza Plex, including the staff bots and other animatronics. This AI is also known as Tiger Rock, a white tiger animatronic that has two different colored eyes, blue and green. To most, this may just seem like a cool little detail. However, for those who treat this series like a religion, they should know that eye color is very important in this series. For Charlie, this makes sense, as she has blue eyes and is represented by the color green a lot in the franchise. The green eye doesn't seem to be just another way to represent Charlie, though, but instead it seems to represent Elizabeth. We know for a fact Elizabeth's eyes are green, as this is proven way back in Sister Location, when Circus Baby's blue eyes turned green after being possessed by Elizabeth. Based on all of this information, it seems Elizabeth and Charlie have possessed the Mimic AI and have control over the Pizzaplex. Now all we have left is Michael. After the glitch trap virus corrupted Vanny, she had Glamrock Freddy clear a path down to the location where Burntrap's body is found. When we go down to this location, Freddy says he found himself for the first time, and seems to have no real reason to protect Gregory. Unless we follow the idea that Gregory is the crying child, rebuilt by William as a robot. Then it would make sense that Freddy didn't find himself, he found Michael's soul, the older brother of the crying child. This would explain why Freddy protects Gregory, because Gregory is his little brother. Michael would also be filled with guilt after being the original cause for his brother's death. So now we've explained where everyone from FNAF 6 has gone. Except for one. Where is Henry? Surely he died, right? He's just a normal human. At least Michael and William were partially animatronic. But Michael had Remnant and still died. And his soul later possessed Glamrock Freddy. So Henry has to be dead, right? Well, technically he is. But at the same time, he's not. If Michael can just possess an animatronic, why not Henry? They both died the same way, in the same location at the same time. So it's not too far-fetched to believe Henry did the same. Now, please just understand, I am only trying to give my best explanation of this cryptic message we see in Security Breach. With that being said, let me just go over something real quick. Break and mend, I built the breath. Seems to refer to William as he broke down the original animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and used their remnants to build and upgrade, or in other words, mend the Funtime animatronics, and make them more suitable for luring and capturing kids, to experiment with Remnant. However, this message contradicts that theory by telling us to save those with soul. This seems like the opposite of what William would want, right? I mean, he's literally been doing the opposite throughout this entire franchise. But then, who else is there? I built the breath. Seems odd to call out if it's not William. But what if it's Henry? This would make perfect sense, as he attempts to set the souls free at the end of FNAF 6 by burning them all to the ground. And he did help to build the original Fredbear and Friends animatronics. He also built the Mediocre Melodies, as well as Chica the Chicken, who was originally part of the Mediocre Melodies. Henry wanting the Glamrocks decommissioned also makes sense, as he wants to permanently end Fazbear Entertainment. And the worse history he makes, the better chances he has of doing so. And unless I'm stupid, which I probably am, but whatever, I believe Frit means to prepare by heat, which we see Henry attempt to burn down the remnants of Fazbear Entertainment. We also see Gregory and Freddy attempt this in the VIP ending and the Burn Trap ending for Security Breach, which gives even more proof that this message is talking to Gregory. I believe fraught means filled with or resulting in, which I don't have a clear explanation for that one yet, but if I find something, I will get back to you on that. Zest means to have great enthusiasm, and guest means to wage, to bear, or to carry. This makes sense as well because Charlie, Henry's daughter, carries the souls of the children in Henry's words. In FNAF 6, he says,
"No one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours."
While speaking to Charlie, and later says,
"It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms."
At the end of his speech, no blunt woes also makes sense from a certain perspective. Woe means sorrowful, or distress, as the souls, and especially Charlie, were filled with distress as they were murdered at a very young age. This next one may be a huge stretch. In fact, I know it is a stretch, but it feels important enough to call out. Henry says, "Cry not," and if we assume these messages are for Gregory and Charlie, we could make the logical leap that this is a reference to the puppet mask in the Blob having no tears, as in Charlie is no longer crying, listening to her father. But at the same time, as we said before, Charlie no longer possesses the puppet, which would explain why there are no more tears. So I am most likely wrong about this, but like I said before, it felt important enough to call out. Do not hold out hope. Seems odd, doesn't it? For someone like Henry, who wishes to save the souls and put all of the pain and tragedy to rest, is telling us not to hold out hope? This part I don't have a clear answer for, but if I do come up with something, I will let you know. Your life, your aim, will save those with soul. Seems to be a clear parallel to Henry or Charlie, at least to me it does. As we established earlier, Henry wanting to free the spirits, or save them. So did Charlie, as seen in the FNAF 2 minigames. Something I would also like to address near the beginning of the message is they hunt now drawn to life, which could be talking about a few different things. First being the twisted ones, because if I remember correctly, they were created by Henry in the books, but William used them to capture and kill people who looked like Charlie. This could also just be referencing the animatronics in general, as he helped create the animatronics that started all of this, and Henry and William had not created Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, all of this tragedy would never happened, which could also tie into the blunt woes bit. While it does make sense for this to be referring to the animatronics in general, it makes most sense to me for this to be talking about the twisted ones, as it says, not real, still keen, as the appearances of the twisted animatronics are not real, but an illusion created by sound illusionists. We don't officially see the twisted animatronics in the games, but I think I have a pretty strong idea as to who represents these animatronics. In the books, it is brought up a few times that the animatronics have organic features to them, and we see something similar in the games in the form of the nightmare animatronics. But that's a story for another day. For now, I would like to say that the message on the wall could possibly be Charlie as well, but to me it makes more sense that Henry left this message. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure didn't. And please remember to keep an open mind about all of this. I'm not saying this is 100% what happened. This is just a theory. A game theory, or whatever. But, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.